Hi, for my book review, I'm doing a book called Zack by William Bell, and it was a really great book and a super quick read. I read it in like 3 or 4 days. And the book is about a boy named Zack, and he's a really strong boy, but he doesn't do that well in school. He's half African American and half Jewish. He knows his Jewish side very well, but he doesn't know really anything about his African side, because when his mother got married, she cut ties with her father. And his mother is a blues singer who's super disconnected from her past and wants nothing to do with it. And his father is a Jewish man who loves his parents and his heritage and loves teaching his kid all about it. So the book starts with Zack failing in history, and his teacher gives him a chance to redeem himself by doing another assignment. So he decides to do it on a historical figure who is African named Pawpine. And Pawpine was a young man taken from Africa, sold into slavery in the U.S. And the whole idea of Pawpine started when Zack dug up some artifacts in his yard, which led him to Pawpine's story. His project really encouraged him to learn more about his African side, and it gave him lots of passion about learning about his grandfather, and he really wanted to meet his grandfather, but the problem was that his mother would be very disappointed that he wanted to meet his grandfather and wouldn't be happy about any of this. And so he decides to go meet his grandfather when his parents are out of town on a trip, and he has to drive from a small town in Ontario named Fergus to Mississippi to meet his mother's father so he can learn more about his history. And since he wants to find out about his history because some of his ancestors may have been slaves, and Pawpine's story really made him think about where he might be coming from. So the book talks about his adventure in learning about his heritage and the trouble he goes through while trying to get to Mississippi. I found this book super interesting and would really recommend it. It was very intriguing because it gets you thinking about your own heritage and your family's past. The book talks a lot about how all the characters change their views throughout it, and Zack's view of his maternal grandfather changing from in the beginning when he knew nothing about him till when he met him to the end of the book. My favorite character was Zack it was Zack's grandfather, because his grandfather just really changed his views on everything throughout the book, and you learn so much about him. Another reason I find the book so interesting is because of the mystery of Zack's grandfather. The whole story is based on him finding why he doesn't have a connection with his grandfather, and why his grandfather isn't in his life, and why he knows so little about his own history. The vocabulary was very easy to understand, and the book had a really good flow to it, so I would recommend this book to anyone who wants to read a very realistic and well-written book. Bye.